Hello and welcome back to my channel, Candid Talk with Adelle. I'm always excited to have you. If you're new here, you know what to do. Subscribe, like, and of course you leave a comment at the end of this episode. But also, if you have not subscribed, please go ahead and subscribe. It keeps us moving, keeps us motivated and excited to bring you this content. I am seated at the new Nanjing Hotel, which is found at Lugogo Bypass. You need to come and try out their services. Amazing. The meeting rooms, you will not find anything better. If you have those get-togethers that are fancy and exciting, there's a club as well. So if you didn't know, you can find all those exciting places here at the new Nanjing Hotel on Lugogo Bypass. Try them and visit them. Today, we are discussing change and resistance to change. Remember that this channel is about growth and accountability. There's no way you achieve those two things without the concept of change. So let's get started with this conversation. Hello, and again, if you're new, my name is Adelle. I'm the host of this Candid Talk with Adelle. Please do subscribe and like the channel. So we are talking about change. Change is a factor of life that you'll never run away from. Remember, last week we talked about growth, and today we're talking about change because you cannot grow if you don't change whatever is in your life that needs to be aligned. Now, when an individual talks about change, there are different things you look at. First of all, what is change? You know, in most cases, we talk about words and literally, we take them literally, but we don't understand what they mean. So change is a point where you get to adjust whatever you are doing or replace it, or in most cases, something newer or different to achieve a certain goal and a certain objective that you've set for yourself, whether it's you as an individual, a family, a business, or anything that you want to do or achieve. You will never run away from change. My beautiful mother always says that if you don't change, change will change you. If you don't change, your change is going to be forced to change you without anyone even forcing it. So the question is, why are we always resistant to change? When you implement changes at the workplace, it takes a long time if you don't do it right for the environment, for the employees, for the staff to adjust to that change, appreciate it, and in most cases, implement. So today, let's find out why. So things about change. When we look at forces of change. For example, in this economy that we're in, there are things we have been forced to do. Right now, if you've been purchasing tomatoes at 10,000 shillings, you're going to downsize to about 5,000 shillings because the economy is getting tougher. That means that there's unplanned change and then there is planned change. The unplanned change is things like the economy changing. COVID-19 comes, things get difficult, the recession is happening, and there is no choice but to change your lifestyle. So that is unplanned change. Then there is that change that you, as an individual, for example, I myself, plan to change the way I eat to eating healthier. That is planned change. But then there are different forces that will force you to change even when you don't want to. One, we've talked about it, the economic change, the recession right now. The inflation levels are crazy, which means that the value of money is also low. So whichever money you have to literally plan for it if you're going to still live the same lifestyle that you were living before. Unplanned change, and the forces of change are happening. If you're running a business, There is change that happens, for example, with a competition. The game changes. The competition is doing so much in marketing. It is putting in place measures and tools that are helping them acquire and retain customers. You as a business owner, you have no choice but to change so that you can fit in the evolving environment, because the world we're in right now is changing. Technology. I was reading somewhere recently that in the next 10 years, people could be replaced with machines, for example, in restaurants. The AI technology. We could be replaced by machines in our offices. So the question is, when that time comes, how ready are you to adjust to those changing environments, possibly unplanned for? Do you have a skill? Can you do something outside the things that a machine can do? So those things all are forces of change, and technology is part of that. I think most of us who are using technology right now, we can testify that it is already happening. Things are going into the technology world, and so much unemployment. So it means that people are finding ways of reducing the human force to replacing it with machines or things that can be done virtually. Unemployment levels will go high. So if you don't want to change, change will change you. Then there is a political environment. That factor of political environment is very important. It changes how employment looks like. It changes how the money in the economy, the distribution of resources, it changes so many things. So as an individual, as a business, how ready are you to change in that kind of setup? So as people, we have to be flexible enough to change, especially if you're in the same journey that we are all on this channel of growth and accountability. If you don't change, change will change you. Then if you're in the business setup, there are customer demands. For example, there's a salon. I own a salon, Naturals and Dreads in Intinda. So for example, the customers want a specific hairstyle, and it is own style, like everyone wants it. And possibly your staff don't have the skills to do that style. What do you do as a business owner? You have to invest in that so that you change with the customer demands. Customers are king in this business setting. So the demands of the customers will force you to change so that you can serve them better and be able to survive in that environment. What am I trying to explain? That change is inevitable. In most cases, people around us, even in the workspace, if you are a human resource manager, you understand that people, when you're introducing change to different individuals and employees, it has to be phased. Otherwise, you will face resistance. There's so many reasons why there's resistance to change. One, it makes you uncomfortable. Or the fear of the unknown, and that is the biggest of them all. You don't know what this change is going to do to you. Will it be positive? Will it be negative? Will it be impactful to my life? Will it add value at all? And this change, will it, for example, if it's in a workspace, will it give me a new boss who will change how I work? So people find it resistant, and they must have measures of understanding how to manage resistance of change in a work setup, for example, in a work culture, but also if you're looking at elements of growth on a personal level. So there is this Lewin's 3-step change, or managing change, or resistance to change. There's what he calls, those who have researched, you've seen Lewin's 3 steps. One is unfreezing. Unfreezing, what does that mean? That when bring an idea to an individual in a company, you have to unfreeze it, unpack it, communicate it well, show the people that you want to implement this change with the relevancy of it, why it will make you better, why it is needed, so they understand and own it. An element of ownership. Ownership is important when it comes to change. And we're speaking in this general perspective because this can be applied as well in your personal life, but also in any other setting. So you unphrase this idea and put it on the table. Open for discussion. Free feedback. Let everyone contribute so that they can own it because they are the ones going to implement it. Even when it's on a personal level, you need to be able to unphrase this idea because you're the one going to implement it. You need to understand it, to accept it, to appreciate it. So that element of unphrasing. And then after that, there's the second step, the movement step, which is usually the implementation stage. Now, we have unpacked it. We understand why we need this change. And the change in the mindset is happening. And then now we go to the implementation stage. We start working on this change to allow us reach our bigger goal that we've set for ourselves. Now, we work through it and everything is going on well, and people or yourself, you're adopting to this change. And then you move to the third step, which step is you rephrase. Yes, now you rephrase. What do we mean? You stamp it. You make sure it is absorbed and it does not get forgotten. So you rephrase the idea after people have adopted to that change. You rephrase that change to make it standard and impactful and for it to become culture. If it's a workplace, it becomes workplace culture. But of course, that rephrasing allows you to keep becoming creative and innovative to make it even better. So why are we talking about these 3 steps? These 3 steps can be applied into your personal growth journey. That you get this idea, you unphrase it so that you can understand it and communicate it and own it, and then you implement it to be able to achieve the set goals you set for yourself. And when it is perfect, you rephrase it so that it becomes standardized, but leave room for innovation and creativity. I do believe we're on the same page at this time when it comes to change and managing change and resistance to change, and why, if you don't change, there is no choice, but change will change you. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you have been following this, change is inevitable. And for us to grow and to be accountable to ourselves and in our families and in everything we do, we must be receptive to change for the positive, for the better, and achieve our set goals and objectives. So, if you're watching, tell me, what is it that makes you or people around you resist change? Share in the comment section so that we can always exchange ideas, and also let me know what you think about this episode. This channel is all about growth and accountability, and this month we are unpacking just a few elements that will help us achieve those set objectives of growth and accountability by the end of this year. Thank you for watching. I am really grateful. If you have not subscribed, please do, because it keeps me motivated and excited to bring you this content. Thank you for watching, and remember to come to Nanjing Hotel, the new Nanjing Hotel on Lugogo Bypass, where everything is beautiful. Thank you for watching Candid Talk. See you in the next episode. Bye-bye.